Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a good one today. I'm Nick, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. It's been a while since I did a tier maker list or a tier ranking, so I figured I would do one. I found one here with Canadian candy bars and candies for Halloween. The treats, if you will. And I thought I would just rank these to how much I love these candy bars. You know, Halloween is approaching very quickly, so I figured I would get on this and just do something a little different for you guys and show you my taste in candies, at least for these Canadian ones. Maybe some of you in the States or everywhere else in the world won't know what some of these are, but I'll try my best to explain them. And some of these I know are everywhere in the world, so let's get into this. Our categories are 10 out of 10, perfectly delicious. You know, that's nothing wrong with the candies. I love them. Next up is great. Then we got good. Then we got mediocre, average, just your regular candy, whatever. And then we have nasty, the ones I tend to stay away from. So let's go ahead and do this. Right off the bat, they got Aerobar, and Aero is one of my favorite chocolate bars. To me, it's 10 out of 10, perfectly delicious. There's something about having those little air bubbles in the chocolate. It just, I don't know, it just makes it taste so much better for some reason. And if you think about it, you're losing out on chocolate. They're literally putting air bubbles in your chocolate. And yeah, it just melts amazingly in your mouth. I just love Aerobar, and that milk chocolate is amazing. Next up, we got Caramilk here. Caramilk. Caramilk, I really do like it, but is it just great or perfect? I want to put this in great just because it is a little sweet with the caramel inside. But a great bar. This was probably my favorite childhood bar. When I was a kid, I always used to buy the Caramilk. Next up, we got Coffee Crisp. Now, I know this is pretty much a Canadian exclusive. And I also used to really love this as a kid. But now, I have to put this under mediocre average. There's just too much wafer there in the middle and not enough chocolate. It's very thin coat of chocolate over top, where we get, yeah, just a big chunk of wafer in the middle, and it gets kind of dry. But the flavor's pretty good. I do love coffee flavor. But yeah, just not enough chocolate there. Let's see. Next up, we got Hershey's Cookies and Cream. This is going under 10 out of 10 for me as well. It's funny because I'm not a super big fan of white chocolate. I would never go out and buy it. But these bars here, I don't know if they use the real white chocolate or what, but it just tastes so damn good, especially mixed with the crushed up like Oreos type of cookie or whatever and mixed in. And I love me some good cookies and cream. Next up, we got Crispy Crunch. I have to put this one under nasty for me personally. I never eat these, and when I do, they get stuck in your teeth into the roof of your mouth. And yeah, I'm just not a fan of these at all. The flavor's not even that good. So for me, it's going under nasty. I made a mistake of getting a Crispy Crunch Dairy Queen Blizzard before, and it ruined it for me. They were just getting, pieces were getting stuck in my teeth and that, and it's like, this is awful. Next up, we got this regular bubble gum. It's I don't know if it's Hubba Bubba or not, or the name on it, double, maybe it's Double Bubble or whatever those are. I remember seeing that bubble gum all the time when I'm trick or treating. And I'm gonna put it under mediocre average. It's just your basic bubble gum that runs out of flavor pretty quickly. But it's okay. It's not nasty or anything. Maynards. This is the peach, I believe. It's hard to see their little pictures. I think this is the peach Maynards, and oof, I think they're great. Personally, I love those soft, chewy candies, whether there's sugar on them or not. I'm a fan of them for sure. And peach is a great flavor for candy. Next up, we got the regular Hershey bars. I think I would put this under good. There's nothing wrong with them or anything. It's just pretty basic and plain. It's just your basic milk chocolate, I suppose. But they are good. Next up, we got Kit Kat. Ooh, I love me a Kit Kat. This was going to go under great. Now here we have a wafer in it too, just like Coffee Crisp, but this one has a lot more chocolate consistency. They balance it out. And yeah, I love me a good Kit Kat. Next up, we got the M&Ms with the peanuts and without the peanuts. I'll go without the peanuts first. I'm going to put these under mediocre average. I'm not an M&M fan. To us, we got Smarties, which I see on this list, which I find much better. M&Ms, I don't know. I never found them that great. But here's the twist, plot twist. M&Ms with peanuts, I think, are great. Maybe even perfectly delicious. Yeah, I'm willing to go perfectly delicious. I think that's what the M&M needs. It needs that peanut in there. And I love me peanuts and chocolate mix. I'm not a raisin and chocolate mix type of guy, but nuts go good with chocolate. Next up, we got Mars. The Mars bar is 10 out of 10, perfectly delicious. It's filling for its size. It's not very big, but it is amazing. Now this one has caramel nut in it, but I don't find it as sweet as Caramilk for some reason. But yeah, love me a Mars bar. Mr. Big. Mr. Big, I would put this under good. There's nothing wrong with a Mr. Big. There's a lot of bars that are like Mr. Big. You got ones like O. Henry and that are close. They're not exactly the same. And I see O. Henry's on the list. I'm going to put O. Henry right beside it right now. O. Henry, though, I find the peanuts in that are too huge in it. Like, they should have chopped them up a bit. And they can get a little dry, those type of bars. But there's nothing wrong with them. I think they're still above average. They're still a good bar. Mr. Big and O. Henry. Oh, next up we got the Crunch bar. Now, Crunch has like a kind of like that Rice Krispies in with their chocolate. I always had a Rice Krispie Easter bunny for Easter, and I love that. Is it 10 out of 10 perfectly delicious or great? As a kid, it would have been definitely a 10 out of 10. Now, thinking back on it and the taste, yeah, I'm willing to give it perfectly delicious. They really are. The Rice Krispies was a perfect addition to chocolate, and who would have thought those two would go together? Next up, we got Nibs, which is like a really short, stocky version, kind of a licorice. Basically, it's just different shapes of what's the brand of licorice? You know, like the Twizzlers or whatever. It's all the same thing. And as a kid, I would say nasty. I was never a fan of licorice, but as an adult, you know, I'd put it under mediocre average. I see myself sitting there and munching on them when I have nothing else. They're not that bad, but I wouldn't go out and buy them myself. Oh, next up we got Pop Rocks. Now, y'all remember those as a kid? I think every kid would put that at 10 out of 10 just because of them popping in your mouth and shit. As an adult, though, it's just kind of like putting powder in your mouth and just to get that effect. Not bad flavor, but nothing too special about them. I would just put them under mediocre average as an adult. But like I said, as a kid, that would go way up there. Next up, we got the Popeye Cigarettes, which I don't even think they're just called candy sticks now. They used to be called cigarettes when I was a kid. Obviously, they changed that since then. And yeah, it's like eating chalk with a little bit of flavor. It's not nasty, but it kind of is. I might put Popeye down there in nasty because after eating I wouldn't even think I'd be able to eat a full box nowadays. It's just, yeah, very chalky and it's not appealing to me. Next up, Reese's Pieces. Reese's Pieces are good. I put them under great or good. I think they're great. It's definitely nice to see in your pillowcase when you're going on trick-or-treating. You're like, I got a Reese's Pieces. And since we're on Reese's Pieces, let's talk about the peanut butter cups itself. I think the cups are a little bit better. I'm going to put them in 10 out of 10. Perfectly delicious. And this is another brand or chocolate that as a kid I was just like, I don't want peanut butter with my chocolate. I can do that at home. But as an adult, I freaking love it. It's 10 out of 10. Perfectly delicious. There's not enough in the packages. They only give you 2 or 3 half the time. Or those are only 1, the mini ones. And like I said, the pieces are good, but not as good. When you add that shell to them, you kind of lose a little bit. The cereal was pretty good as well, the Reese's Puffs. Next up, we got a good old Ring Pop. Ring Pops, as a kid, yeah, one of my favorites. Great candy. As an adult, I obviously don't want to have a ring going around sucking on a Ring Pop, but that's besides the point. We're talking about more flavors. And it's still good flavor, but yeah, I'm just not as big on them as I was as a kid. I'd put them under good right now. I kind of lost interest in like the big hard pieces of candy like that, or like not jawbreakers, but those other, like a sucker for instance. I'm not the biggest fan of them anymore. Next up, we got Rockets. Good old Rockets, another like really chalky like candy. And you know what? I prefer Rockets to Popeyes. I'd probably put them under mediocre average. Even though after one package, I'm like, that's enough. I don't need any more. But yeah, they're okay. I see we got Smarties here, which is like the American version of Rockets. I've never seen them in Canada, but I've heard Americans say that that's like their version of Rockets. So I'm going to put this at the end of the list because I never tried it. I think it's only an American thing, but this is a Canadian list, so maybe somewhere in Canada they have them. But to my knowledge, they're just like the Rockets, which are average at best. Oh, we got Skittles coming up next. Taste the Rainbow. Taste the Rainbow is perfectly delicious. I love Skittles. I see they got the sour ones on the list too. I'm going to put them up there in 10 out of 10 as well. I love both of these. It's something I usually get when I go to the theaters. I get my popcorn, my pop. When I'm done that, I have my bag of Skittles. And yeah, nothing beats a Skittle. Especially those commercials, man. The commercials are amazing. Smarties. Now, this is what I was saying about how we have Smarties. I think this is a Canadian exclusive, if you will. I don't think Americans in that have them. And Smarties are great. I'm putting them under great. It's kind of like the Reese's pieces with the hard shells. Next up, we got Snickers. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Have a Snickers. Better? Better. I think Snickers are great. I think they're an underrated bar. Not many people talk about them. You gotta love those commercials there. Like I was just saying with the one I remember is the football one. The guy's playing like crap and he eats a Snickers and he's great after that. Gotta love good old Snickers. Ooh, Sour Patch Kids. Like I was saying earlier, I love these types of candies. Yeah, they're going under perfectly delicious. I'm going to put them over here just so you can see them better because I know I got my camera in that corner. Sour Patch Kids. Love them. Love them, love them. And look, Maynards is there too with the cherry blasters. I find they're all just as good. Give me any of those types of candies and I'm happy. From Skittles to Sour Patch to Maynards. And look, next up we got all the Starbursts. How great are Starbursts? Amazing. And I love every flavor. And it seems like they just got all the individual flavors here. So I'm putting them all in the 10 out of 10 as well. The orange, the pink, the red, the yellow. They're all good. I don't care. I'm not fussy on flavors. Next up we got Swedish Fish. Not gonna lie. Never had it in my life. Don't even know what it is. It seems like a tasty candy though. Like Maynards and that is. But yeah, just never tried it. Oh, another Maynards. We got Swedish Berries. These are good. Again, any type of candy like this, you got me sold. It's amazing. Oh, Three Musketeer. Interesting. A Three Musketeer, for me, are just like mediocre average for me. It's the type of filling they use. I don't know. I can't eat a lot of it, but it's okay for what it is. Ring Pops with the, that's like the suckers with like the middle. Either it's gum or sometimes it's like Tootsie Pop. And yeah, these might be the Tootsie Roll ones. And I'm not a fan of those ones, that's for sure. I'm not even a big fan of the ones with gum in the middle because the gum's never any good either. I'm just not a big sucker fan. And if you look at what we have next, it's the regular Tootsie Rolls, which I also do not like. They are nasty to me. I never liked Tootsie Rolls. I'm glad they made them smaller so they're easier to throw out now. Before they were like this big. But yeah, not a fan of Tootsie Roll at all. Don't like the taste or the texture, anything. Next up, we got Twix. Twix are for kids. That's actually the cereal, but this chocolate bar is very good. I think I'd put it under great next to Snickers. Just a solid candy bar. I like the little bit of caramel and that little bit of wafer in there. It has a good balance, Twix. Twizzlers, we already talked about it with Nibs, I believe. And yeah, it's basically the same as Nibs. I'm putting it under mediocre average because yeah, they're just different shapes of licorice, to be honest, for me anyway. Wonderbar. Again, going under good. I think they're just these good average bars that, or a little bit above average, I guess, that I wouldn't necessarily buy at the store, but I wouldn't be mad if I get when I'm trick-or-treating. And that seems to be the last one, guys, because we only got the Smarties like rocket ones that I was already talking about, and the Swedish fish. And I haven't tried either one of those, so I'm not going to give my thoughts on those or place these in this ranking. But there you have it, guys. Those are my choices for best candy to receive on Halloween, if you're a Canadian like myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I was able to give you a little insight on Canadian chocolate and candy. I would love to have like a whole another country's chocolate and candy to try out. Like I know you can go on and order like baskets of it from different countries, which I might try one of these days, and I'll probably do a video if I do. Yeah, and that's basically all I got for this video today. Stay safe on Halloween, guys. Don't take candy from strangers. Stay spooky, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.